Hello and welcome back, Bargain Hunters. I'm James Romero, and each week we help you to uncover the best eShop deals available in the UK, US and EU stores. Later on, we will announce the winner of a $10 eShop voucher from last week. Let us know your pick this week for a chance to win one next week as well. Without further ado, let's take a look at these deals. Kicking things off with my pick of the week, and I'm going in strong. Dragon's Dogma surprised everyone when it came out as one of the best modern RPGs. From Capcom, no less, a developer we don't typically associate with RPGs. There are some similarities with their Monster Hunter series. It features gigantic enemies, including, you guessed it, dragons and a huge open world, but there are deep systems here such as crafting and a large world full of characters to interact with. Its pawn system and excellent action-orientated combat set it apart from all the rest. This is not one to miss. Jordan, Juan, what are your picks this week?
Hey everyone, Jordan here with my pick of the week. This week I'm not exactly going for the biggest saving ever, but in terms of quality per pound spent, then KAMIKO is going to be my pick of the week. This is a delightfully cute indie game that was one of the first stars of the eShop all those years ago. Its standard price is pretty cheap, but now 50% off, and it's a must buy in my opinion. Short, sweet, and endlessly replayable, at least what I think. It's also a fantastic one if you want to speedrun. You'll only be paying £2.24 or $2.49, which is pretty much nothing these days. Probably wouldn't even buy you a pint in most places in the UK, I would say. So yeah, KAMIKO is my little bargain of the week.
Thanks very much, James. This week I've gone for something a little bit different. X-Morph Defense with a massive 85% off in all regions. If you love shooters and tower defense and you always wanted to be the bad guy or at least an alien race bent on the destruction of Earth, then why not sign up? X-Morph Defense does a great job of merging these genres together and is a fun strategy game. And the added extra of recreating a scene from Independence Day movie is the cherry on this already content-filled cake. So that's my pick of the week. Hope to see you next time.
Alright, some nice picks there, guys. Now, if you like the idea of playing Indiana Jones, then Sydney Hunter and the Curse of the Mayan is the one for you. Trapped in a Mayan pyramid, you need to find artifacts in order to escape. This is a 2D platformer. Armed with a whip, the gameplay is classic, but beware, the difficulty spikes are tough. At just $1.99, this is a true bargain. What a great surprise it was to hear about not one, but two Monster Hunter games coming to the Switch at the Nintendo Direct Mini. Until then, Monster Hunter Generations Ultimate continues the popular series from Capcom and is a perfect fit on the Nintendo Switch, both because of its portable form factor and because of the local co-op capabilities. If you're someone who missed this series, the premise is really very simple. This is an action RPG with real-time battles where you take on huge monsters, slay them and use the loot to improve and create new weapons and armor. It's truly addictive. The focus is on getting better gear, which replaces the leveling system in most other RPGs, and it makes for a thrilling and addictive game loop. With a real Blade Runner vibe, State of Mind is a narrative-driven story adventure set in 2048 Berlin. The story is predictable but enjoyable, like watching a cheesy sci-fi flick whilst eating popcorn on your couch. The visuals stand out as stunning, the look of the world is wonderful, and it's a high point. Throughout the game, you are a passenger, you'll interact with a few puzzles here and there, but ultimately, you are along to see the journey. At its original price, it's just way too much to ask of this 10 or so hour journey. At a much more reasonable $7.99, it's definitely worth a look.
Our project has entered a decisive phase.
AER Memories of Old is one of those relaxed games with a little combat, a few puzzles, and lots of exploration that is greater than the sum of its parts. Striking colours and a lo-fi polygon graphics impress, and the main way of exploring, transforming it into a bird, is just simply fun. It's a short game that's probably not worth it at full price, but it's a lovely adventure at just $5. The Just Dance formula from Ubisoft hasn't changed much since the first release back in 2009, but if it ain't broke, why fix it and all that? You pick up a Joy-Con and copy professional dancers' moves as they strut their stuff over a bunch of popular tracks. This year's entry is very similar to last year's, but the ability to hold a mobile has returned, which is a welcome addition, and the 40 tracks this year are quite broad and decent. There is also a kids mode which takes down the complexity so your little ones can enjoy it too. With over 60% off, this is a great way to do a workout and make it fun. It's also a laugh to play with your family members, including the little ones. The game has become quite polished, and aside from the new tracks, it's a bit hard to justify investing each time around, but it's easy to recommend if you don't own an older iteration. One thing to be aware of is Just Dance Unlimited, which is a subscription service that unlocks a huge number of additional tracks that cost quite a bit. For some wholesome and active fun, consider this one. This is not the first time that this game's come up, but it's hard to miss when it does. Monster Boy and the Cursed Kingdom is really a special title. This is the spiritual successor of the Wonder Boy series. This Metroidvania platformer is one of the best there is, with excellent controls and wonderful gameplay supported by beautiful graphics, and ultimately it's one of the very best soundtracks we've heard on the Switch. This is definitely not one to be missed. Everyone can enjoy this regardless of age or skill level. Silence is the follow-up to The Whispered Word, and it's a point-and-click adventure that looks gorgeous. The theme is of personal growth and some dark discovery into your own fears. Apart from the looks, the audio is decent as well, and the puzzles are enjoyable with a few different elements thrown in for good measure. The biggest issue with this game was its steep price tag. At $7.99 though, this is the biggest sell so far on this one, and a much more reasonable ask. If you like point-and-click adventures, well, we've got another one for you. This time from Daedalic Entertainment, with a similar issue, a good game with a steep price tag. Instead of Silence's serious deep take into the mind, Deponia is instead a slapstick adventure that harks back to Monkey Island. If you like over-the-top, silly jokes, and a not-too-serious point-and-click game that looks lovely, then take a look at this one now that it has a whopping 90% off. Stay is certainly different. You play as Quinn and wake up in a mysterious room with a PC. You're holding out some hope of escape, and the story progresses primarily through text-heavy dialogue. What is unusual is the game's link to real time. Using the internal switch clock, if you leave Quinn alone for too long, his mental state will deteriorate. It's like a dark Tamagotchi. It's quirky and not perfect, but worth a look for something a bit different. A bit different it certainly is. South Park: The Stick of Truth is a surprisingly great JRPG. You play it for its superbly written story, and yes, the original cast wrote this one, and its hilarious bonkers cast, but you stick around for its engaging gameplay, and the combination does work very well. It's a must-have for fans of this series. Feudal Alloy is a Metroidvania that is rough around the edges and odd. You play as a goldfish controlling a robotic body in a weird landscape full of robots in a medieval setting. I reviewed this one when it came out and I really did enjoy it. There are nice RPG elements thrown in and the puzzles are excellent. It's not perfect, but it's less than £3. It's really a great bargain, worth checking out. I think you'll be pleasantly surprised if you give this one a go. Alright, and there you have it folks, a bunch of eShop games on sale worth looking at. What's your pick this week? Let us know, and you can win a $10 eShop voucher next week. Alright, the winner of last week's $10 eShop giveaway is Emil Nordstrom. Congratulations, Emil. Email us at contactus@switchwatch.co.uk and we will get you that voucher. We've been really enjoying the surprise drops of Hades and Ori and the Will of the Wisps. Check out our videos on those ones by clicking up at the top right hand side. Thanks for stopping by and hanging out with us. If you did enjoy this one, we'd love to see you again, so please do consider subscribing. That's it from me today folks. Take care and I'll see you again soon.